When the news of a devotee's marriage was conveyed to the Maharshi, someone asked, "Why has he done this? Surely he will now fall back?" The Maharshi laughed and said, "Why should marriage interfere with his spiritual progress? Unless satisfaction of bodily wants, such as hunger, thirst, and evacuation of excreta, is done, meditation cannot progress." This is a remarkably profound statement by Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi, revealing the depth of his insight into the harmony between spiritual life and worldly responsibilities. Let's explore it carefully, not just as an observation about marriage, but as a teaching about the nature of desire, discipline, and true renunciation. When asked whether marriage would cause a fall in the devotee's spiritual progress, Maharshi's response, "Why should marriage interfere with his spiritual progress?" is not casual. It reflects his non-dual understanding that spiritual realization does not depend on outward conditions, but on inner attitude and awareness. For him, self-realization is not about renouncing the world. It is about renouncing identification with the body and ego. Marriage, therefore, is not an obstacle unless it strengthens attachment to I and mine. Maharshi adds, "Unless satisfaction of bodily wants, such as hunger, thirst, and evacuation of excreta, etc., is done, meditation cannot progress." This statement is deceptively simple but deeply practical. He is pointing out that the body has natural, biological functions. To ignore or suppress them in the name of spirituality is neither wise nor necessary. Just as one cannot meditate properly on an empty stomach or in physical distress, one cannot expect to transcend the mind while being at war with the body's natural state. Thus, bodily harmony is the foundation of mental peace, and mental peace is the foundation of spiritual realization. Ramana's laughter here is also meaningful. It shows his gentle dismissal of dogmatic spiritual puritanism. He is reminding the questioner that spiritual fall and progress are not external states like being married or unmarried, rich or poor, ascetic or householder. They are inner movements of consciousness. A married person can live in detachment, fulfilling duties with surrender. A monk can live in ego, attached to his own image of holiness. True renunciation is renouncing the doer, not the doing. This teaching also subtly dismantles the old dualism between the spiritual and the worldly. Ramana Maharshi's view aligns with the essence of Advaita Vedanta. The self is ever pure and untouched, whether one lives in solitude or in society. Hence, fulfilling natural bodily or social duties, like marriage, does not pollute spirituality. What binds us is identification, not participation. When actions arise naturally, without ego or craving, they do not create bondage. They become expressions of dharma. From a practical perspective, marriage can even aid spiritual growth. It reveals the ego more clearly through the mirror of relationship. It teaches humility, patience, sacrifice, and forgiveness. It challenges one to find peace amidst dualities, pleasure and pain, gain and loss, agreement and conflict. In that way, a married life can become a spiritual laboratory where every emotion becomes part of self-inquiry. Who is angry? Who is attached? Who suffers? Maharshi's laughter and words together express one timeless truth. It is not life that binds you, it is the I that clings. Whether one lives in a hut or a monastery, peace comes only when the I thought subsides. The one who knows this sees no contradiction between marriage and meditation, body and spirit, world and liberation. Ramana Maharshi's response is a gentle correction to our spiritual misunderstanding that God can only be found in denial, austerity, or retreat from the world. He reminds us that truth is not fragile. It does not vanish in marriage, food, or human duty. It only hides when the mind divides life into sacred and profane. When one sees everything, hunger, love, duty, rest, as arising and dissolving in the same self, then even the act of living becomes meditation. To Maharshi, marriage is not a fall. It is another movement of the cosmic play, in which the self remains ever untouched.